Hey Gems, welcome back to Crystal Hearts 12 Days of Christmas. Y'all, before we get into today's project, y'all know the routine. Y'all hit the thumbs up button. Also, if you're not subscribed, go ahead, hit the subscribe button and the little bell notification so you're notified every time I post a video and every time I go live. All right, y'all, today is the last day of the series, day 12, and also my birthday. So it's a special day, but today we will be making a Christmas bunting, a banner. If you're interested in knowing how to make this banner, then just stay tuned. Okay, y'all, so what we need for this project is, of course, your fabric of choice, which I'm going to be using this like candy cane stripe and this gingerbread house, because that is how we are decorating our house. So these two will go well. And then you will, if you choose to, you can use batting or you cannot use batting. You don't have to. I may try and see if I like it better with or without, but it's much easier and more cost effective not to use batting. But if you like the look with the batting better, then you can do that. You will need a quilt, a bias tape or a quilt binding tape, a double fold, and it can be whatever thickness you like. This is what I had on hand and I love using what I already have. And then you will need a triangle template. If you have a triangle ruler that you can use, that would be awesome. My triangle ruler is a bit bigger than what I wanted to do, so I made a template. So I'll show you how I made my template so you can do the same thing. But if you have anything that's a triangle the size that you want to use, then do that. Mine is about a 6-inch triangle. And that's about it. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how I make my template so that you can do yours. So you can use a regular sheet of paper, which this one is a regular sheet of paper. This is more of a cardstock, so you can do whichever one you want. And then what I do is I take a ruler and I measure a line 6 inches. Okay, 6-inch line. And then you also want to make a mark at the 3-inch mark. So whatever size you want your triangle, you do that line and then you mark the center, which is 3 inches because mine is 6 inches. And then from the center mark, I measure 6 inches up. So then you have this, and then you just take your ruler and you go from this point to this point. And then the same thing on the other side, this point to this point. And that's it. You can then cut it out. Alright, and then your template is ready to use. Alright, you're going to iron and start your fabric as you normally would. And then you need to be sure that your fabric is facing the correct way because your triangle is going to be hanging like this. So the top of your fabric needs to be here if you have directional fabric. So I need to make sure that I'm cutting my triangles this way and not where the little houses will be upside down. Okay, and I'm going to draw on the back side of the fabric. I'm using a friction pen, but it's just easier to see because my fabric is dark. So I'm going to trace my triangle, or you can just cut. If you have a template, a ruler template, you can cut, or you can line up a ruler on top of this triangle and cut that way, so that you don't have to waste your time drawing. Or you can draw and then cut. Either way, whatever you like best. Okay, and then however many flags you want, I'm calling them flags, however many flags you want, that's you need to double that, because you need a front and a back. So if you want 10 flags, you need to cut 20 triangles. And you can use as many different fabrics as you like. You can, y'all know I love to say play around with your fabrics. Do different color options. This can be for any holiday. It's something that you can make fun. If you have an area like a mantle, a fireplace mantle, or something that you want to use to display these every season, you can make them for every season, which I think is fun. And see, I just made the mistake I said not to make. I flipped my template around and cut this one backwards. I was not thinking, but I'll just make that the back. It doesn't really matter for me. Alright, so I'm gonna continue to cut out my pieces, and then I will be back. Alright, y'all, I have some triangles. I have a band-aid on my finger because I sliced my finger with the rotary cutter. Because I did something that I knew better, and it was dumb. But on the template, with the template, I was cutting the fabric instead of using the ruler so that the rotary cutter has something to lean against. I was just cutting like this, and then it slid onto the cardstock, which is slippery, and it slipped. You can see on here, if you can see, there's a mark where it slipped and went off, and my finger was right here. So it sliced into my finger and my fingernail, and it's still kind of bleeding. So I decided to stop cutting because I don't want to do it right now. So let's see how many little flags we can make with what I got. 1, 2, 3, and it might be enough. 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, it's an odd number, but will it work? All right, perfect. This is what our banner will have, because I'm not cutting anymore today. My finger hurts. Once you have all of your triangles cut out, and if you're using batting, go ahead. I was gonna do some with batting, but after I cut my finger, I'm not cutting anything else right now, so I'm not gonna do batting. You can also do interfacing if you want it to be stiff. None of that matters to me, so I'm not doing any of that. Then you can put your flag right size facing, your front and your back, and we're gonna stitch down and back up, and that's it. And do it to all of your flags. Alright, y'all, so we are done sewing all the triangles together. So I'm just going to show y'all with one. You're going to take it, you're going to snip your corner at the tip so that you can flip it out and be more pointy. So you don't want to cut into your stitches, you just want to cut the excess fabric off the tip. And then we're going to flip it inside out. And I have my point turner so I could poke the tip out. Alright, you get it as pointy as you can. And then you're going to take it to the iron and iron it flat. Okay, now the next step is optional. You can top stitch around the edge if you want it to be, you know, to sit flatter. You don't have to. You can actually put a little stuffing in there if you want it to be a fluffy flag. It's whatever you want to do. I think I'm not going to top stitch. I think I'm just gonna let it do its thing. So I'm gonna go ahead, flip all these inside out, and then I'll get to showing you the next step. Okay, so I have all of my triangles prepped and ready to go. So what you need now is your binding or your bias tape, your binding tape, whatever you have. If you don't have this and you want to make it, you just take a strip of fabric and you make it like the same way you would make binding. Or not really. You would do it the same way you would make bias tape. So what you would do is you would take a cut, which could be 2 inches, 2.5 inches, whatever, and you will fold it in half, iron the crease, open it up, fold one side into that crease, iron that down, fold the other side into the crease, iron that down. Then you could fold it close and iron it, and then you'll have the same thing. We did this on yesterday's 12 Days of Christmas, day 11, whenever we did our tote bag, because it's the same way that you make a strap. So if you need to see it more in detail, check out day 11. Okay, anyway, so what you want to do is take your strip, and you need to see how much you want on your edge so you're not starting there, and then you decide how far apart you want your flags. You can have them touching, you can have some space in between. I'm gonna do a little space in between so it can be a little bit longer, and you can pin it. You're gonna put it on the inside, so it opens up and you put it on the inside, and then you can use a clip or a pin to hold it, just to hold it till you get to the machine. And then you decide how far apart you want your flags. So I'm thinking 2 inches apart for me is probably where I like. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put them in. And clip. Okay, so the bias tape, I'll link in the description if you just want to pick some up. It's usually super duper cheap though. Walmart and everywhere else is super duper cheap. If you've never bought bias tape, or this is quilt binding tape, I think it's called. I don't know what I did with the wrapper. I think it's called quilt binding tape. Anyway, it's very, very cheap. And the fabric that I'm using, I got at Joann's. When you're doing projects like this, buying fabric at Joann's, I use Joann's fabric for quilting as well, some of their higher quality ones. But for projects like this is where you want to use those fabrics that are not like high quality, unless you just really want to use a certain fabric line. But this is like the perfect time to use those super cute fabrics that the quality is just not good enough for a quilt, if you feel that way. Because by all means, use whatever you want for your quilts. Use whatever you want anytime. But I know for me, it's good project fabric. All the projects that we've been doing so far, the fabric from Joann's, from Walmart, wherever, is actually great options. Okay, So now that we have, look at it, y'all, it's so cute. All right, so now that I have everything lined up, I'm gonna take it to the machine, and I'm just gonna stitch about, I'm gonna do 1/8 of an inch from the bottom, stitch it all the way down, and it's gonna catch the fabric inside. So I'm going to the machine and I'll do that. All right, y'all, I am done. Now, an option you do have, okay, y'all see the stitches at the bottom? You can stitch at the top if you want that look. I think it's cute just like this. And it came out super cute. I didn't continue stitching on this side, just to leave myself the option to add more. But for the most part, it's done. Once I figure out where I'm putting it, then I'll know if I need to add more to it. Alright, y'all, we are done. Done. This one was fun, easy, super simple way to dress up and decorate your house. I love it, love it, love it. Alright, y'all, this is the last day of the series. So if you have participated, if you've made anything from this series, then join the Facebook group and post pictures. If you're on Instagram and you want to post pictures, hashtag Crystal Hearts 12 days of Christmas. That's a long hashtag, huh? Anyway, just do it. I'll look for it. Anyway, I appreciate you guys for sticking with me for these 12 days. It's been a lot of fun, but it's also been a lot of work. So I'm going to go rest now for a little bit. The next few videos that y'all will be seeing has all been pre-recorded. So I hope that you guys stay tuned and see what's coming up. We have some unboxings, we have some hauls, different things like that. A baby quilt. All of that will be coming up soon. Anyway, that's all that we have. 12 days of Christmas is over. I have to go celebrate my birthday, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Y'all don't forget to hit the like button on your way out. If you're not subscribed, go ahead, hit the subscribe button. Join the Facebook group. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. All the things. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.